There is a poem that speaks 1,000 images, one that locks your love in place and catches your dreams and transports you where life is simple and filled with innocence. You bathe in the warm embrace of Mother Nature before taking the path into the belly of the earth and feel the cool air on your face among the time-sculpted walls with eternal love smiling at you from above. You pay solemn respect to an esteemed ancestor and marvel at the way he lived. It is said that love never dies, and you see an enchanting castle replete with spirits that linger gently in the catacombs of your mind. You arrive as a stranger, yet somehow feel that you are part of the rich architectural heritage of the land. You find yourself in that vast landscape of lushness that surrounds you and welcomes you to a flowery garden where every step you take is a lesson in being one with nature. You see a golden dome shimmering under the glare of heaven's eye, testament to the grace and majesty of the Almighty. You run and watch in amazement the delightful behavior of God's creatures. Day turns to night. Nocturnal creatures come out to play and feast. You catch sight of a wondrous lake where locals sway in tune to a silent rhythm. There is also a monument where you catch a glimpse of tradition's past. You step into a sanctuary to pay a visit to a dear old friend and his countless children. Embrace nature as you find yourself beside a peaceful lake, surrounded by an ancient rainforest, older than the Amazon. A broad smile crosses your face as you hang in the air, watching a magnificent river gushing down the side of a hill. A splash of crystal clear water refreshes you as you awake on an island. Perched on a rock, you mark the soil with love as an ode to Perak, the land of grace. We love Perak, and so will you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and salam visit Perak. My name is NOLEE ASHILIN and I'm the State Executive Councillor for Tourism in Perak, Malaysia. I would like to firstly thank Malaysian Tourism Council, MTC, for this opportunity to be online with you today and share the tidbits of tourism specifically on Perak in our effort to push forward resetting tourism domestically and internationally for Malaysia. My presentation today would cover an overview of tourism in Perak, our strength, promotion is always key, implementation of reset and reinvigorating strategies, sustainability, and moving forward. I think most experts have already spoken and touched upon the subject of the near fatality underwent by the tourism and hospitality industry. Perak was of course not spared from this shocking effect brought by the pandemic COVID-19. For Perak, tourism is third after agriculture and manufacturing, but fast becoming number 2 as income earner for the rakyat here. Since 2013, Perak has been in the top 3 destination for overnight domestic tourism, coming in first for consecutive years from 2013 to 2016, and top 5 in daily visitors too. For 2020, even with only a few months of the industry being operational, we received almost 5 million overnight domestic visitors with tourism spending of RM 3.8 billion, putting us at the second highest at both overnight visitors and daily visitors at 13.7 million. For 2020, we focused on upgrading facilities besides aids with a total of 10.84 million reallocated for the tourism industry. For 2021, we continue at about 6 million ringgit. In terms of stimulus plan for 2020 and 2021, direct aids worth RM 5.19 million has been distributed, covering 78 members of MIBA, 92 travel agencies, 111 tourist guides, 38 hotels and chalets in Pangkor, 11 homestays, 80 MAH members, 10 tourism NGOs, 35 PUHAS members, 72 spa operators, and 400 boat operators who are all operating fully in our state of Perak. How do we reposition ourselves? That's an interesting question. COVID-19 puts emphasis on safety like no other as a pandemic. Soon to be endemic, we are to ensure that good practices, health and safety protocols must not only be implemented by operators but also projected by them. This is because destinations are now chosen with more care, suitable for a safer environment away from the 3 Cs advocated by the Health Ministry. Perak has always been forefront in promoting good practice. After our first MCO, we have launched the Perak Good Practice Guide, which we have crafted during MCO through a joint committee chaired by Perak Tourism and Perak Tourism Associations, which constituted members from the NGOs and relevant agencies. These guides were not just produced, but practiced by certification done by the committee soon after the MCO was lifted. METAC certification was also used to validate the good practices in Perak. For hoteliers, besides our Perak Good Practice Guide, the Mah Veritas was also used to illustrate hygiene excellence and safety labels. The pandemic has changed every aspect of our lives, and many of us are still adjusting to the new normal. It's proving to be difficult because of how quickly things change in every city. It also changes the travelling trends. Based on industry experts, based on consumer behavior in 2020, using their insights and information, we found from exploring the ends of the internet, we have narrowed down 5 key trendings to look up in 2021. This includes Number 1, slow travel. Slow travel is exactly what you think it is. It's to explore a place slowly, to connect with the people and culture on a deeper and more emotional level than the usual let's go here because it'll look good on Instagram. As we weren't allowed to leave Malaysia last year, many of us become tourists in our home, just like me, and discovered new things about the country if our borders don't open this year. At least we know there's plenty more to see here to keep us busy for a while. Number 2, sustainable and regenerative travel. The environment healed slowly as we were all in lockdown, and it made us rethink about how we approach travelling. Many travellers are now more cautious about shopping locally to help communities, using alternative travel methods to decrease carbon emissions, choosing more environmental friendly places to stay. The third trending that we found was road trips. Family trips are now in demand, providing the assurance of safety, being in the same cluster, travelling as a team. And the key trend that we also found interesting is spending time in the great outdoor. Travellers are now looking for more experiences in nature than they are indoors. With plenty of space to practice social distancing, we can see an increase in outdoor activities like camping and a rise in camping clubs too. Eco-adventures like whitewater rafting, hiking and visiting parks across the country. Thus, the shifting trends put spotlights on Perak as we are home to many ecotourism clusters and products which are in demand by these travellers. Let me tell you about some of the ecotourism clusters that we have in Perak. Our pride, the Royal Belum, 130 million years old rainforest, which is exciting for those who love the nature. Royal Belum is now in the midst of getting accreditation for the UNESCO World Heritage Site. I would like to share with you a short video on Royal Belum. let me introduce you to another product of ours, my home, which is Gopeng. Gopeng is situated in the Kinta Jopark, which is the second Jopark for Malaysia. So we are very proud of Gopeng because they are host or home to many eco adventures, which includes hiking, trekking, abseiling, whitewater rafting, ATV, and also the infamous caving activities in Gua Tempurung. I will share you a video now. I would like to now introduce to you one of the most important destination cluster for Perak, which is the district of Manjung. It is home to the tax-free island Pulau Pangkor, which is infamous throughout the world, and also to other interesting destinations, which includes Teluk Batik Beach, Teluk Senangin Beach, Lumut Mangrove Park, and the turtle sanctuaries. I would like to now share with you a video on the beauty of Pulau Pangkor. And lastly, I would like to touch on one other notable destination, which is Taiping. Taiping was awarded as one of the top 100 sustainable destinations in 2019. It was also awarded the Best Destination Manager by Tourism Promotion Board for the Asia Pacific. It has won many awards, including Malaysian Tourism Council Gold Award 2017 in Best Heritage and Eco-Travel Destination. And it is also one of the happiest cities in the country in 2019. Taiping is also known as a heritage town. It also hosts Kuala Sepetang and Kuala Gula, which has many activities including river cruise, mangroves, and sightings of pink dolphins. Of course, Bukit Merah Lake Town Resort, which is another water theme park which we are host to, is very nearby to the town itself. talk about sustainable tourism, its definition itself lends to the significance, whereupon ecotourism is a sustainable form of natural resource-based tourism that focuses primarily on experiencing and learning about nature, and which is ethically managed to be low impact, non-consumptive, and locally oriented, which includes control, benefits, and scale. Sustainable tourism also refers to sustainable practices in and by the tourism industry. It is an aspiration for the impacts of all forms of tourism that should be sustainable. The sustainability of ecotourism just not lies on the shoulders of the government nor operators, but needs the synergies much like the quadruple helix model. It is a matter of balancing profits and sustenance of a product. Now we tend to move away from mass tourism to carrying capacities, development versus protection and conservation of an area. Responsible travel is a new term where it is key the behavior of individual travelers aspiring to act and make choices according to sustainable tourism practices. If we look at the guiding principles of sustainable tourism, it touches on three key aspects. Number one, responsible recovery for people, which includes public health and social inclusion. Number two, responsible recovery for the planet, which includes biodiversity conservation and climate action. And lastly, the responsible recovery for prosperity, which includes circular and government and governance. So how do we move forward in terms of the challenges that we are facing today? The way forward really needs the willingness and readiness of the government and industry to adapt to changes, to adapt to the new trends, to adapt to what's good for the environment and for the people. So that encompasses a lot of strategies. But for us in Perak, we'll be looking at embracing the new norm through the Perak Good Practice Guide and other guiding certification. We'll be looking into investing in retooling and retraining for retainment. We'll be looking at improving storytelling through our programs called Work Pro. We'll be looking at digital storytelling. We'll be looking at government economic support in terms of incentives to the players to reset and restart their businesses. We'll be looking into biodiversity in terms of conservation and climate change. So we have to be very, very innovative in terms of management plans with the current or new products. And for that, we have actually established Perak Tourism Action Council to inculcate a smart partnership with all the players in the industry so that we'll be always adding value to the chains of supply and demand in the tourism industry. In terms of preparedness of opening the industry, I again would like to assure you that each decision made has taken into account the best way to keep safe in times of COVID and to normalize our lives so that the industry can reset, start, and thrive in coming days to come. Before I leave you today, I hope that you will enjoy the beauty of my state. Don't forget to make us your preferred, safer destination, be it for a short break or family vacation. So remember, stay safe everyone, and hashtag travel Perak lah.
With curiosity comes the need to seek adventure. The memories you choose to keep are solely yours to create, and only you have the power to do so. Wonderful adventures like this taught us to be thankful for what we have. It gave us a different perspective of everything we see. This adventure is the memory we chose to create. An adventure begins at home.